Hey guys, welcome to Waste Not Wednesday. We go live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. and we take things that we thrifted or junk and we turn it into home decor. Today we're super excited because it is our JRV paper release party. We're going to be showing you all of our new designs for Christmas and then of course doing thrift flips, making ornaments and having fun. It's all about Christmas today. And I know that it's only September, but for you guys that are makers, you know that you got to start early and these designs are so good. So I'm super excited. You can buy all of them at jamieratevintage.com or check with your local JRV retailer. If they have ordered from us, we have shipped out all of our wholesale orders. If they haven't ordered from us, let them know that we will ship it out to them fast if there's some things that they want.
All right, I'm going to show them to you real quick right up front at the first of the videos so you guys can see them. So we have one new medium paper. This is all in the rice paper and all archival ink. We do the rice paper because it's more of like a art style paper versus just like a thin tissue paper. So you can use them as art or frame them if you want, but they can also be decoupage. Let me see if I can hold this. It's wanting to flop. Hold on. There we go.
There we go. Two hands. Okay. So this is Christmas Cottage. Zeb named these. So yeah, I'm going to have to double check.
I think it's called Winter.
Something
Cottage.
Winter Cottage. We're so good. Cottage.
It's been like 2 weeks and I probably named it at like, I don't know, it was like middle of doing
that so
20 other things.
I love all the decorations on there. We went back and forth with a lot of different cottages and we just love this one because we really feel like this is Christmas, I guess, because there is some red in there, but it's a winter scene. So you can keep it up all winter long through the first of the year and it's just good art. I actually think it would be fun if we did seasonal cottages and barns for every season, that if you have a frame, you could take them out and then rotate them and just have like one place in your home where you're changing out the art.
So I'll hold it way back here so you can kind of get a good view of how large this is. Definitely, this is, let's see, 1, 2, 3 of the A4 size.
So we showing them they're going to see all the new things.
I'm showing them right now.
All right. And we have 4 new papers with the A4 size. Santa is stunning.
This is Jamie's favorite.
He is so sweet looking. How many Santas did we go through?
Oh, probably 30 or 40.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, nope, not that one. That one's not chubby enough. That one doesn't have the right cheeks. This one doesn't have the right eyes. I wanted him to look jolly and kind, and this Santa is good.
So this is on the A4 size paper.
So this is Jolly Santa because
Jolly Santa, still rice paper.
Then we did our holiday deer.
This is like a play on the Easter bunnies, but with deer. And this is, so Jamie loves the Jolly Santa. I like this one. I love like stags and deer and elk and all the antlered animals.
Equally hard to find just the right deer, just the right wreaths hanging just the right way, and like amending it to look the way we want it.
Lots of Photoshop. You're welcome.
I thought those would be great to put in frames, but also ornaments. So excited about that. And then we have more Santa because Santa is just like one of our favorite things. So this is Santa's workshop.
These are specifically sized to fit right into a 5x7.
Everybody says they love the Santa. I knew they would. Santa is good. He was worth all of the effort. Zeb, I think, was a little tired of designing Santa by the time we were done, but had to make sure it was just right. So we've got Santa in his workshop and then like an antique style Christmas tree. Like Zeb said, these will fit in 5x7 frames. I'm going to be using both of those on some thrift flips today.
So these are both off of antique postcards.
Yeah.
That we've got.
Santa workshop.
And then same with this one. These are also antique postcards.
Mary and Child. Being a mom is really special to me. And at Christmas time, I always think about the Mother Mary and everything that she went through. And so I wanted to design a paper just for her that has her, maybe Jesus and all of them. I'm going to be using the nativity scene to create an ornament, but I also think the Mary and Child with the pink around it would be darling put on like chipboard and then gold glitter around the edge. It would just make the prettiest ornament. So, and you can totally do like that brighter, what's the shiny bright ornaments, the types of Mary and Child that we did, I think would pair well with Shiny Brights because the colors are really fun. So that's kind of what I was thinking with that one. But we're going to go ahead and get creating. If you want to buy any of those papers, you can get JamieRayVintage.com. Let's see. The Mary and Child with one of those you see through pages of Mary, Did You Know over it. Oh, yeah, that would be really cool. I love the song Mary, Did You Know? It's one of my favorite songs. Okay, let's get started designing. Zeb is in charge of using this large paper, and I hope you printed out more because I'm using most of those.
I do have 4 more over there waiting for you.
Okay, because I have ideas for all of these. Let's get going. I have already a frame made. It's drying. I used the IOD frames mold. So I'm going to be making a Christmas ornament with this one. So we'll let that keep drying. And then I just have some decoupage projects. First up, we have this box that we picked up at the bins this week. It says $1.99, but it was probably like 25 cents at the Goodwill bins. This is frames 2. Sorry, it's frames 2. I need to remember that when it's 2 frames, it's frames 2. Frames 1 has the smaller frames in it. So I'm going to be using the holiday deer. Oh dear. Because the 2 will go perfectly across here.
Okay, so I have this old case. This is actually my old camera case, but I sent it in a different travel case with Odelia on her mission. And I DIY'd this years ago to fit my camera. So we're going to be pulling all of the camera stuff out. I still had it in here. I didn't realize I had it in here still. Few things. It's going to need a vacuum. And then I'm going to use this. What did we name that? Winter Cottage?
Seb, should I leave the line in between these deer? I think that actually looks okay. Because I was debating on whether or not to.
That's totally up to you if you want. I mean,
all right.
I'm doing some fun things with stripes in between some of my decoupage.
I also got to make sure that it's centered. So I need to get my measuring tape. I mean, my yardstick. We should have saved one of those rulers from last week because I could use it on a regular basis. Because this thing's a little large and obnoxious.
We do have them. There's 2 of them right here.
Oh, can I have one? The Jamie Ray Vintage is not on the design. Online, we watermark our photos, so that way people can't lift our decoupage paper and use it as their own. So it says Jamie Ray Vintage in a watermark on all of our decoupage papers. But that's just the online listing. Yeah, not on.
When you get them, they'll be like what you just saw without the watermark.
This needs to go over this way a little. They do not say Jamie Ray Vintage on them. Good question. Okay, I think I want to move that down a little. I'm just figuring out where I want to put this on here, and then I'll fold it. And then I think I'm probably just going to rip it and then decoupage it. It looks like a clarinet case, probably. I was never in band, so I'm not super familiar with what case it would be. So I'm just using water. Hopefully this works the way I want it to come across the edge here, and then I'm just going to rip it. You guys have actually probably seen me occasionally just lick it and rip it, but I'm using a brush this time.
All right. I'm almost ready. I thought I had everything out I needed, but
not really working the way I want it to.
What isn't really working?
Well, I got it wet. I'm getting it done. This just gives it more like an organic edge, but it's not ripping the way that one might have hoped. It's fine because I could just sand it later using scissors. Good old trusty scissors.
Oh, you have the scissors. I was like, where did my scissors go? I had them out.
No, I grabbed these out of the drawer, so you did not have these scissors out.
Those might be.
So there may be another pair of scissors running out.
Yeah.
But I grabbed these because we often get chastised for why don't we have all of our stuff ready before live video.
That's a lot of things.
The problem is that I don't know, like I could feel one way, like I'm going to do something in a video and then I get started crafting and then I got to do it another way. I mean, it's all in the same room. It's just not always on camera, you know, like I just walk over there. Fraser says no white stripe. Well, white stripe's happening because that's how I cut it. You were too late, Fraser. You might.
Well, you can always
be.
go back through and paint a stripe on there.
No, I want the stripe.
Or like do a different color stripe, I mean.
Well, I'm not very good at cutting. The good news is I'm going to distress the edges.
Are your kindergarten skills failing you today?
Yes. Yes, they are. Okay, let's decoupage this on here, and then I'll sand the edges. It'll be good. Yeah, there will be white around the edge, and it's just a barrier for the ink. We used to try not to do that, and we had to switch to white edges because it was ruining our printer. I was like, now I understand why everybody has white edges. You have to do that. Because if you print over the edge, that ink goes over the edge of your paper, and it was just a nightmare.
It just drops a ton of ink. It drops a ton of ink into the bottom of the printer, and after...
Leslie says I'm awful at cutting. It's all right, Leslie. You and me. You just use a little sandpaper on the edges, and it's like it never happened.
Hold on. I'm going to use these scissors.
You should always wipe the edges of your sealers off before you put the lids on. Do I do that? No.
There you go.
You should. Okay. So everything that we do today we'll list after this video unless it's already listed. I think there's only like one tray that we're going to do that's already on the website. Everything else was thrifted this week or is like Zeb's old clarinet case here.
Is that what it was? A clarinet?
Somebody said clarinet. I'm like, I don't know.
I thought it was maybe
of
like
all the clubs and things that I did, I never played a band instrument. I was in competitive speech and debate. I did mock trial. I did just about every sport.
She was in the chess club for a little while.
I was secretary of the Science and Adventure Club. I did a lot of things. My need to do a lot of things has continued throughout most of my life. All right. So I think I'm going to put deer on both sides, but I kind of just want this side to dry before I, yeah, because I need to I probably should have cut the other side first before I did this. Okay. Okay, don't overwork it, Jamie. Here that is with liquid patina. We're going to let that dry, and I'm going to do the other deer on the other side. And it's just going to be a cute little tray or cute little box that somebody can put jars in or greenery or a bunch of candy canes would be super cute.
So I do have a few hinges and things I'm trying to dodge on this.
Will we ever do a smaller cottage pick? Don't we have a smaller cottage rice paper?
Cottage Road is it's like an English countryside pastoral print with a cottage on it. That's like front and center.
What was I going to put on this? I think this one was going to get this Santa, and I'm going to use the Christmas tree on this piece. So I have two more pieces I'm going to be working on. I picked this up yesterday. Well, we have a video. We have an extra video coming out this week on Friday. So this will be in Friday's video. And then this, I think we also thrifted yesterday. So I'm going to try to cut this with water. We'll see if that works. I've seen it done on TV.
Are we both decoupaging at the same time?
No, I'm not decoupaging. I'm cutting this paper with water.
All right. Okay, so I want this to be up while this is sitting. I also thought this would be fun to like stage up as a riser for like a display or books or something. Okay, liquid patina. We're going to do the top first, and then we'll work down to the sides.
Because the water spreads a little, I'm kind of just holding my finger here so I don't rip past the tree in my design.
So I painted this case white so that the decoupage paper is the brightest it can be. If you have a darker color underneath your paper, that's going to not necessarily like dim it, but it changes the mood. It's going to be a little bit darker finish when you're all done.
Well, you're going to see that on mine because I'm not painting my pieces. I'm just decoupaging, so you can see that the image will be a little moodier. Definitely if you're doing what I mean, if you use a more exact brush, you won't have to do this, but I'm holding my finger down where I don't want the paper to rip past, because it would easily just rip past where my design is, and I don't want to do that. And if you do it like this, it just gives you a more organic edge, and you don't have to worry about your cutting skills.
All right, that is going on there pretty good. You don't want to overwork it because it is rice paper. You can put a few coats on there, but just know, like, you don't want to just like go crazy with your brush.
Well, that's with any decoupage paper, rice paper, tissue paper, that's very fibrous.
Yeah, it's not a fragile process, but
delicate.
You don't want to just be over here.
Be very demure, very mindful. All right, I got it. Here's my tree. See how it's all like natural and organic around the edge as opposed to sharp line? That's because I used a water cut method. Let's see, what paint is Zeb using? White linen?
So I used white linen over the top, and then this is not paint. It looks kind of like it's white, but it dries clear. This is the gel transfer medium. It's liquid patina. Is what it's called on the website, and it's the crystal clear version of it because it does dry clear.
I'm gonna use.
I'm just using my razor knife to cut out where the little feet are on this, so that I can press it down. It's going to be kind of like a.
I don't know why I didn't realize that this was not.
It's going to be more of like a tear, like what Jamie was doing, because it's wet already.
So I'm going to have to like come back and sand this edge off, which is fine.
Well, hold on. Sorry.
We're sharing.
I see we are both decoupaging at the same time.
This will dry clear. I'm actually going to take a damp rag and kind of pull off some of the decoupage medium where I don't want it, the liquid patina, off the edge here. So I really just need it where the tree is.
Okay, and I'm just pressing this down kind of around these hinges, and it might tear a little bit, but that'll be all right.
It would be a lot harder to do what I'm doing if it wasn't a shiny surface, but that patina is just wiping right off. So I'm going to have to come back and cut this bottom, but I'm going to leave that alone. My tree is on my... They said that looks so good. I do like it. And I actually think you should do like aviary. What are you doing around the edge?
I'm doing aviary, and I might even take some of the barn quilt and do like some stripes of red, almost like a candy cane stripe or something. We'll see how I go with it. We've got an hour here to do this video. But you can get as creative as you want with the paint, and almost like frame around it.
Okay, next project.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. So Tammy said, that's funny, Jamie. My mom told me I was not able to go to kindergarten because it was too full. I'm 59 and still say I can't cut straight because I didn't learn kindergarten. Well, that's almost like we decoupage all the time because we do it so well. I mean, Zeb probably more than me.
We do a lot of decoupage. I really love it for, and these rice papers. If you guys don't know, we do have some really large tissue paper. It's like an 18-pound tissue paper. I just love the art quality and the print quality on the rice paper so much better. It takes the ink better. It's a more robust paper. If you are just using it for art, it's a lot easier to frame and work with. It's less likely to wrinkle as easy as tissue paper, because the tissue paper is literally like a napkin almost.
It's like one layer of a napkin.
Yeah, it's 18-pound, and it's good paper. And the print quality is as good as we can get it on there, but I feel like I can do a really high print quality on these papers. And this also has the archival ink. So it holds up better to being decoupaged. I was talking a little bit earlier about overworking it. You can overwork it, but the actual ink doesn't start bleeding on you unless you're using like a real chemical-based sealer that has like alcohol or something in it that would actually pull ink up.
Do we have a big Christmas tissue? Yes, we have two. We have the nativity,
It's a bunch of
Advent, which is a bunch of nativity ones.
Yep.
And then we also have Santa postcards. So we do have two of those.
And we have a big Stags too. I think we still have some. I have not reordered those. So those are until supplies last, because we're kind of transitioning everything over to the rice paper, and we will have some larger rice papers out hopefully soon. We're figuring out how to ship those.
I mean, it's really all about the amount of time that we have, and we're coming up on our big trip. So I would say it's going to be like a 2025 project.
Yep.
The larger rice papers, because we are a small business. We have,
and those are going to run a little bit more, but I want them to be able to almost cover the entire front of a dresser. And you could just put the whole sheet on there all at once, cut around your drawers. We'll have videos on how to do it. We're prototyping it right now so that we can get the sizing to fit most standard dressers, because I can go pretty big on the paper with this printer. It's really a lot of fun and opens up a lot of options for us. But we're not going to go so crazy on the price that you guys are going to be like, yeah, it's not, I might as well buy a dresser and not even bother decoupaging it, kind of thing, you know, like it's all about the makeover, right? And the upcycle. Okay, so I've got my top coat on here now. I'm going to set this aside to dry. I might, because it's such a big surface area, I might have a little bit of lifting. You just come back over with more liquid patina if you have any lifting, and it'll suck down and sit down just fine.
Caitlin, can you link the smaller Santa papers, just the rice papers?
Okay, so this is what we've got so far. It's a little shiny.
Miss Monica.
But how fun is that on this? Like, it's going to dry matte. And I do have a little bit of edge. I'm going to have to sand off here and maybe apply some more liquid patina. But this is, I think this is going to be fun once I get it all painted up. I might even go a neutral, like a crockery color, and then just do like a red stripe around this. We'll see. We'll see where we're at. We got a little time. I'm going to let this dry.
Somebody is pumped to create over there. We're going to be doing lots of making. As soon as we're done with this video, we're going to finish our special Friday video, which is a collaboration with Debbie and Ellen-J Goods. And there's a bunch, I can't remember all the creators she said were going to be in it. Sonnet's Garden Blooms. And we're all making over weird thrift finds. And my thrift find is so weird that I actually shared
weird, but I feel like it's going to end up not being weird.
Yeah.
And the challenge was to thrift it weird, make it over, and still have it be like something you wouldn't normally use.
I think Debbie still wanted to be quirky when you're done, but I can't do that. So it's still, mine's not going to be quirky when I'm done.
All right, I've got this.
It is weird.
I've got this brass frame here, and we're just gonna. Oh, sorry.
Let me just finish. I was just gonna say, if you go in stories on Instagram and Facebook, you can see where I'm at with my project. I shared a picture, and I think you're gonna be stumped. Like, even though I feel like sometimes I'm pretty predictable, if you see what I'm working on, you're like, where you will not know where I'm going with it. So if you're on Instagram and Facebook, check out our stories and see what we're working on for Friday. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I'm gonna put this Santa just in a big frame. And just trying to position him because he's a little bit larger than an 8x10. I'm going to lose a little bit of his hands, but I feel okay about that.
As long as you get his cute Santa face.
Yeah, we got his
I
face.
wanted this Santa to look like the sweetest Grandpa Santa ever. Is that even a thing, a Grandpa Santa?
I should have just taken a picture of Ryan.
I know, my brother-in-law is the cutest Santa.
He has the best white beard. It's like big old, like stark, like it would blind you if it was in the sunlight, white beard. And he
has a red face.
And he does like Santa, he does a lot of volunteering at the church, like pictures with Santa and stuff every holiday season. It's fun.
I actually have two sisters whose husbands play Santa.
It's yeah, Daryl does a good job too.
Daryl always did.
But his beard is not I don't know if he's been growing it out. I haven't seen him since.
I think he's bleached it, and I think your friend that comes to us, brother, come on, why am I drawing a blank?
West.
Brother West.
Joe
he came.
West.
Oh my gosh, him and his wife came to our house last year, and it was so fun. Can you do a POC Santa? Oh, a person of color Santa. I'm like, what is a POC? Yeah,
so
we could do that.
We totally can. Most of the prints we're able to license easily are like vintage prints, and
it's not as common.
To be honest, it's hard to find.
But we definitely can. Probably not for this year because we're done designing, but we will remember that for next year, and I could definitely do that.
Because the hard part is getting the licensing on the art.
So it's something we design ourselves.
So I'll have to completely create that, and we'll see how good my art skills are. But we can totally do it.
So stay tuned for 2025 and remind us next year. Okay, and this on. I'm going to wipe off if I go over the edge. So I just want to make sure it's completely. Caitlin's dad is my brother-in-law, Daryl. If you ever watched the Bob Newhart show, they're like, this is my brother, Daryl, my other brother, Daryl. I always thought that was funny to tease him. Like, this is my brother, Daryl. He's been my brother my whole life because my sister got married before I was born. My sister, Renee, got married shortly after I was born, and I was 5 when my sister Karen got married to Ryan. Maybe
so like these brother-in-laws have been in your life the whole time.
They've been my brothers for a very long time. I mean, I wasn't really raised with my sisters either because they're so much older than me. So it's all I've ever known.
Well, your sister Karen was Eliza's age when you came around. She was
15. Yes, she was 15. And she did take me all over the place. And then my other sisters, now we're just like sisters. But I feel like growing up, it was more like an aunt type relationship. Because they were quite a bit older than me, but now I don't feel that way.
If you guys remember from Monday's video, this cute couple here, they're being replaced with Santa. I'm gonna leave them in there just because the print it kind of cracks me up. The guys smile.
I'm just wiping off the excess.
Well, we're going with a holiday vibe. Someone was on all our videos that I get brass frames on. They're like, guys, don't get these brass frames. They're from the 90s or the early 2000s, and the Dollar Tree was just selling them like crazy.
A lot of them are from Walmart.
A lot of them, the brass frames I'm picking up from the thrift store are like metal. They might be like a brass film over the top, but a lot of those like Dollar Tree ones, it's like a plastic brass situation, and these are all metal that I'm getting. So just so you know, don't believe everything you read on the internet. Okay, look at Santa all framed up here.
Hopefully this piece was centered. I centered it on the fleur-de-lis, so.
He's ready to go sit by your tree on an end table, or, you know, you got your cookies set out for the holidays. Trying to get the glare off.
One of our most popular, I can't even popular. One of our most popular ones from last year is the tags. We print those all the time. That's the one thing we print on cardstock as opposed to rice paper. All right, my deer are going to get done on the other side. I'm going to heat gun this a little bit. I love the brass frames. I have them all over my house. I have a bunch actually just waiting for Zeb to print out family pictures. To me, they remind me, maybe it's just nostalgic for me, but like they just remind me of going to a grandma's house and all of her family pictures were in those little brass frames. And so I love them. I use them. They're all over, and I don't care if somebody doesn't like it.
These have little red tags on them. Are these from the Other Side Thrift Boutique? Where did we get these ones?
What?
These have like a little red dot on them.
I don't know. DI.
Oh, DI. Maybe they were part of a yard sale and they had everything color coordinated for price.
Maybe that does happen. Okay. Just trying to make sure they're centered.
So I think that these frames here, what's the size on these? Where's your ruler that you had out?
Oh, Zeb, can you fix the camera?
Yes.
My deer aren't completely dry on the other side, so I'm trying to be careful.
Did you put that ruler up somewhere? Where'd you go with the ruler? The little one that I got for you.
I don't ever remember you I think you said you were going to do it.
No, I totally
I don't know if you actually did.
Oh, it's on the floor under your butt.
Well, there you go. Sorry, guys.
All right, so these are 3.5 by 5. And I feel like they would be really great ornament size and hang in your tree just fine.
Yeah, so if I was going to put this on my tree, I just rip the back off, hot glue some velvet on here, and then hang it on the tree. And you could, if you wanted to take the glass out of it, you could take the glass out and just like decoupage directly onto some cardboard. But if you leave the glass in, then you can change it, because I'm sure we're going to create similar things every year, and then you could just change them out as you want to. And you could also leave the backer on there, so that way you could use them for other things, multi-purpose.
Well, people like small elements. Like, let's say you had some, like, every time I go to the thrift store, I see all these
little pots,
old little tins and stuff that aren't necessarily holiday themed. And you could paint those up real easy, slap one of these on there, and now you've got a set of holiday, almost like not advertising or marketing, but just holiday type, like cookie tins or something.
Well, and I just really love making Christmas ornaments. Our tree is pretty much almost all ornaments that we have made, and it's really fun. And we're actually getting so many that I'm like, we're going to need to have more trees, or we're going to need to hand them down, because it's very nostalgic to make your own ornaments. It's definitely what they did for years and years, and so it's kind of fun. And my kids will grow up that mom and dad, because we've done it for a long time. Mom and dad made all the ornaments, and I remember the first year we did it. Remember, we made it a whole tree full of handmade ornaments.
Well, the kids were helping us.
A handmade Christmas. And I feel like back then, right now, handmade, homesteading, back to simple living is really popular. But when we did the homemade, like a homemade Christmas where we just made everything from scratch, I remember people thinking it was like this really novel idea. And to me, it just seemed like something fun to do. And now it's definitely caught on. And so people are wanting to create.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so we've got deer on both sides. Oh dear. We'll let this dry completely. I'll sand the edges, and then I might white wax the box, or I might just leave it.
What are you going to put in here? Like jars of holly berries poking out the top or something?
I don't know. If I wanted to be real crazy, I could come back in and gold glitter around the edge.
This is still wet, but this is why we use the rice paper, because I was talking about earlier about the quality of the print and the ink we use. Look at how crisp those images are after decoupaging.
They want the Santa in the medium paper. A bigger Santa.
A big Santa?
A big Santa?
A Santa?
Let us ask our retailers if they would.
So we've already launched to retailers.
Launched it to them, but it is definitely something we probably could
I mean, I could
do.
Literally just drop the file onto there, adjust the size, and print
We'll
it.
let you know. We need to talk to our retailers, be like, hey, is this something you would be okay with? Because it's not just us selling them. We have JRV paper retailers, so we try to do one release. Yeah,
right,
Caitlin, can you ask in the retailer group if they would be okay if we came out with a bigger Santa?
Send an email.
And then we'll let you guys know. We have some releases coming out next week. Next week is going to be fun too. We'll have the Iron Orchid Designs release on Tuesday, which is going to be nuts. So definitely, if you want your papers, order them now, because things are slower as people wait for Iron Orchid Designs. So we'll get those papers out to you fairly quickly. And then we have the big launch on Tuesday for the Iron Orchid Designs. And then Friday, we have a little Christmas stencil release. I didn't design a ton, but the ones I did design are really fun. I wanted to kind of just add to our stencil collection. So again, if you guys have retailers that carry the paper, let them know to order the stencils too. Those just came out for them to order. And they will have plenty of time to get them in if they order them. We put them up for them yesterday.
Did you guys see how long it took me to cut that out and pop that in this little frame, and how good that is?
Don't forget, we've got this one back here.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that to dry. I do want to finish.
Hold on. This one's mine. I need that one.
That's good, because I only have 3 of these frames, and I'm going to use these
Can
3.
You cut me off.
Yep.
Mary there. Thanks, Traveling Penguin. How do we find a retailer in our area? Go to jrvwholesale.com, and there's a retailer map. I do want to let you know that not all retailers carry all products.
So
and while we have over 100 something retailers, maybe a dozen have ordered these papers. So if you have a retailer, A, make sure they've ordered them, and B, if they haven't, let them know you like it. And then if they can't get it in for you, then definitely order from Jamie Ray Vintage and we'll ship it to you. We
don't require them to carry all the things because we have quite a few products and quite a few papers. So check with them first. We have like a really simple, easy breezy retailer agreement. So just make sure they're carrying everything. Some people only carry the stencils and the stencil brushes. Some people carry the papers.
We do have an England retailer. I believe she carries just the stencils. Caitlin, do we still have her? Ginger was asking. I haven't checked in a while. I know it's quite a bit to get things shipped there. So, but Caitlin can check for you. Caitlin actually is our retail.
I was going to say retail is Caitlin's baby right now, but that and the website, like she takes care of all the retailers and signing on new people and making sure that everyone's area is where
and they also, just because they're a JRV retailer does not mean they carry the same paint and other products.
Yep.
I just like to let people know because we've had some people go, well, I thought I would be able to go and get all the things and they didn't carry them. So you just want to double check. Okay. Next up, I'm working on an ornament. So if you're just tuning in, I use the Frames 2 Iron Orchid Designs mold. The Frames molds, you guys order them. They're awesome. You can use them for every holiday. They're one of the most used mold that I have for them. And you can use all kinds of decoupage paper, transfers, inlays, like they're good value. So it's definitely something you want to have in your arsenal. All right. I'm just making this fit the way that I want it.
This one here that I'm cutting out is my favorite. I just love the art style on it and the pose of Mary looking up into the heavens.
This one is kind of Mid-Eastern style, or like not Russian, but like that area of the country. And then the one with pink is kind of like a vintage vibe, and it's pink and would be so cute with gold. And then this is a very traditional nativity one here that I'm using. And then I love the one of just Mary and the child. I was very thoughtful about the pictures that I chose and why.
And these are all old postcards.
And the Mary and Child was a Jamie edition. I was like, I need this.
Sometimes we bring a whole product line out because Jamie is like, I need to use it for me.
And I share with my friends. What do you put on the back of the clay molds if you want to make an ornament? You could glue them to chipboard. I use resin. So this is resin. That's what I have here. But I have used clay.
So we just glue the ribbon directly to it with hot glue.
So I feel like this is more simple and it dries fast and you can paint it and wax it right away without waiting. This is the amazing casting resin that we carry on the website. But if you have clay, just attach it to like a chipboard or cardboard to give it some rigidity. You can do it, and I have done it. We do need to do a repeat of the stocking holders. Oh, because we did stocking holders and tin cans on a live Waste Not Wednesday. And I want to do it on an edited videos because I feel like
my dad pre-poured the cement in the cans. So they're very heavy and they hold a stocking amazingly.
Yeah. My soup can ornament or stocking holders are really fun.
So there's 3 of the papers and Jamie's putting this one in the frame.
And I literally had never really seen anybody do it before. It was one of those ideas that just came to my mind.
And we use the knob.
Yeah.
All right. So we have this one here. And then this is Jamie's favorite with the pink. And this is my favorite. And I did have to cut some of the designs off. If you had, let's say you had a larger 5x7, you could mat these and get the whole image in just perfect how you wanted to.
Oh, shoot. Be careful. I moved this paper and I ripped it a little. It's okay, Mary, I'm fixing your dress. This ornament I'm keeping, it's going to go on my tree. I have a lot of these style. I don't know, Sue, email info@jamierayvintage.com. We've had some issues with that happening for international, but we just set up our website to where it should be able to calculate the shipping for the paint and products for you, and maybe there's an issue. So email Caitlin, Sue, and she'll fix that for you. Oh, Megan says she's so proud of you for prepping the frames and painting ahead of time. We tried. We gave up lifting weights. We got our walk in this morning, but we didn't lift weights so we could prep it. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. Our life is a little bit crazy.
We try to be a little more organized when we have like a release.
Yeah. Or we do like a pre-record. Like Tuesday's video that we put out will not be live. We are going to be filming that on Friday. Because it's not a regular video for us, so we're going to do. And then next Friday's video won't be live either. It'll be an edited video because it's not a live day. Okay. Well, as long as we can keep everything on top of it. Here we go. It's drying, and it just needs dark wax. It's going to be really pretty on my tree. And then I'll also paint the back copper. So that way, if you see it on the tree, it'll be good. These are like some of my favorite ornaments to make.
Okay, I'm painting this with barn quilt. This is our red that we have. We specifically designed it for this season. It works for a lot of things, but for the holiday season, this is why we have a barn quilt color. And it's going to match perfectly with the red in these trees here.
Be careful if you're heat gunning resin. You really activate the chemicals in it. I just want to heat gun that real quick because I'm going to go ahead and paint the back of this. So I used DIY copper patina. You guys know we use it all the time. You could also use gold, is really pretty on ornaments. I use the golden ticket. And it just works well. I'll have to do a few coats on this white, but not too many. It's all soft because I just heated it up.
I'm thinking of leaving this, the Yamaha green case, and then just doing a strip right around here. And I'll scrub it. It's dirty. This thing has been kicked around. Oh, I might need to paint the bottom.
Yeah, you went hog wild on your decoupage.
I did some decoupage on this many years ago before. This is not its first rodeo.
Sometimes we create, recreate, create again. Yay! Hummingbird Lane says we inspired her. She ordered the frames, molds, and the rice papers. Okay, this is still dry.
You won't be sad. Those frames molds, we use them. Of all the molds we use, like they're probably the most used.
Let me heat gun this real quick. I think I'm going to do another coat of patina on my Santa pocket. And I also think I'm going to dry brush the detail on the top.
I do have this tray back here that we have pre-painted white. I was going to do Santa in here with some stripes, I think. But we might not get to this because I'm going to try to finish this one in the next 15 minutes.
And we really need to get to the next videos this week, so we can't be creating past our 1 hour mark because we got to get started. So I'm just going to dry brush just this top to bring out all the detail on this. Because I feel like if I dry brush that, it would look weird. So I'm just using white linen in the cottage color because then I don't have to seal it. And then I'm just going to come across and do the same thing to the handle because it's got some fun rope detail that you don't really see. See what I like. Whoa, I like it.
Oh, hey Rex, how you doing, bud?
The puppies have come out. They're like, you've been on too long. We need some attention. Oops. There's a little tiny puppy scratching my bum. Cody, I'm busy. Get down. Get down. Get down. Okay. Do another coat of sealer over the top of Santa here.
What's this project? You gonna get some paint on your nose, huh?
They're actually pretty good about staying out of paint, but I'm not saying that they've never gone in. Rex.
Cody, what are you doing?
Maybe they need to go outside. You guys need to go
You
outside.
guys want to go outside? You need to bark at the neighbors' dogs? Okay, okay.
We used to have to kind of like lock them up. Not lock them up, but like put them in our room while we were live. But usually they don't bug us, so.
Lock them up. Those dogs never get locked
No,
up.
they're they have a bedroom and they let us sleep in it. They did just eat up their dog bed, but we bought this giant
Jamie
dog bed.
washed it and she had the cover off of it and the foam was just sitting there. And we went to a football game and came home and that thing was all over the bedroom in tiny little foam pieces.
And Rex doesn't sleep on it anyways because he likes to sleep under our bed. Our bed's kind of tall and he likes it the cave feeling. And Cody just likes to sleep in a blanket. So I'm like, whatever, I'm not getting another dog bed. You guys ate that one up. I'm just going to throw a blanket on the floor. And so Cody snuggles on a big king size blanket and Rex sleeps under our bed. And the dog bed is no more. Okay. What do you guys think? I'm wondering if I feel like I need to do white kind of just around the edge. Hopefully I don't hate it. Let's see. I usually paint the whole thing. This is like the first time I'm kind of just done a little bit, but yeah, that's better. Just kind of tie it together.
I made dark wax this because it's a little bright with the paper.
What do you guys think? It's still drying, but I think this would be really cute with some greenery. I might have some greenery because I just bought a bunch yesterday. What do we got here? I always like to buy my greenery at the thrift store. And I got a bunch yesterday. Do we have sandpaper out?
Yes.
Okay. I need to sand a few things. Oh, Santa mail in this wall pocket would be so cute. That is adorable. This isn't perfect. I'm just going to shove this in here so you guys get the idea. I think this greenery along with some holly berries would be so cute hanging on a wall. So you're going to have to use your imagination. So see if I can. There we go. Ta-da! All right. Pull that out before I get paint on it. And it'll look much better when the liquid patina has dried.
I just got a big black square that I decoupaged on here. It used to be like Lord of the Rings art, but it's worn off and not great. And the decoupage.
You ever wondered when Zeb crafts for himself? This box is indicative of a Zeb craft project.
It also was like 7 or 8 years ago too.
You have come a long way in your crafting.
That was when I was first. I decoupaged probably a couple things before this, but not a lot.
Did you decoupage or did you do image transfer?
I tried to do image transfer and I printed it off and it didn't really work out very good.
There's more.
There we go. Just one little spot. Okay.
This guy is all done, just needs to dry. Show it to you. And this is another one that would be a lot cuter once we put greenery in it.
I think I am going to paint the rest of this juniper because the juniper is looking much more Christmassy, where this sagey green, avocado green that's on the case is it's too close to what the paint, the decoupage paper is.
Where'd you put my box?
Box. It's
My
right
deer
there.
box. Oh dear.
It might not be dry.
I'm gonna heat gun it because we're getting to the end of our video. I gotta get my projects done.
All right.
I'm okay to start crafting for Christmas because we just decorated for fall in our house, and I always craft for the next season. If you guys haven't checked out that video, we showed you fall decorating. We put up our bunting that we did for Waste Not Wednesday a few weeks back. I still need to plant my mums on the front porch, but I've been waiting because it's been a little bit warm. And I don't want to put pumpkins out there until it cools down enough that they're not going to go bad. Okay. Now, I'm going to probably need to use more patina, but I want to distress the paper on the edge. Where's the, did I have the sandpaper? Where did that go? Oh, you had a piece right over there. Did you use
You
it?
set it here. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe it's under my thing. It's right here upside down.
Oh, where?
Over by your rag.
Oh, there it is. You want to make sure if you're sanding like I'm sanding that this paper is very dry, because otherwise it'll just tear in an unpretty way. I'm fixing my cutting skills that were marginal.
I'm getting a little paint on my silver hardware here, but I think I'm going to come take that all. I'll just wet distress that off or scrape it off. It's not a lot.
I actually feel like this is such a good use of an old case, because we have seen so many cases before that, like, what are you going to do with it? You don't have an instrument, and they're just hanging out at the thrift store. And this is a good way to use it.
And it was fairly easy to decoupage. I did have to rip around the hinges, but once I had the paper wet, it just kind of, it was pretty easy to just kind of push the paper around those, and it just tore a little bit, which is fine.
All right. The little box, so cute.
Yeah, this juniper is a much better wintry green than that sage was.
Yeah, juniper is going to be good. Juniper and barn quilt, you're definitely going to want those. They're my favorites, like shades of red and green for Christmas. I usually don't use a cherry red on my stuff.
It's more of like a burgundy red.
That's like a, remember our first house, we had a red front door. That's very close to what that door, it was called dewberry red, whatever that is. First house.
You remember the name? What was the name of the house? Because the house was actually
it was a
yellow.
Buttercream yellow, but I don't know what it was.
It was yellow with white trim and a bright red door.
And what color were our shutters? Did we have red shutters?
No, white.
White shutters, yeah. So our house was a butter yellow with white trim and a red front door. Our very, very first house. We had it built in a new subdivision in Prescott Valley, Arizona. And it was actually really cute for a first house. We bought it when we were, it
could have been like a long-term house. It had 4 bedrooms.
Yeah, we signed the contract for it the day that I was supposed to deliver Harrington. But he was a week late, and then we moved into it when he was about 6 months old. It was cute.
I remember we were picking all the stuff out, and Jamie was like, no, I need the garage to be we had to.
I didn't want to have a big garage on the front of my house, so we had a side entry garage.
So it was a side entry garage. It was when they were first starting to do that. That wasn't very common then. And she was like, oh yeah. So we're over there picking out options. About 10 minutes into it, I was dirty from work and had just come home from work, and like Discount Tire, I was still busting tires then a lot of the day. And I, like 10 minutes in, she had her it was her boss slash friend that was the broker slash realtor and did the loan too. And I'm like, why don't you guys just, you know, you do what you want and I'll sign on the dotted line. I was like 20, you were still 19.
Yeah. I did mortgages at the time, so I knew exactly what was necessary to like get the loan, and the area was small enough that we could do a farm home loan.
I like the green trim on there, and then this, I'm going to dark wax this. I'm going to get it dry and dark wax it because it's, I feel like for this, there are some pops of red in here. Let's see if we can get it to focus. There is a little bit of red. And I love like how they got like decorations in the trees. I need some snow and some pine trees in front of the house so I can start decorating those now.
The only thing that could make this stuff even better is glitter. I don't think I'm going to glitter it because not everybody loves glitter. But oh, do we have dark wax? I do need to dark wax this frame.
I'll have it out in a minute. Are you going to use it right now, or
what?
Do you need it right now?
Well, I wanted to finish my little frame. I see a wax brush, but I don't know. Oh, it's right here, sweetie. It's already here. Hold on, guys. I'm coming back on camera. I just really like the copper with dark wax. So
yes,
we'll show you guys all of our little projects. As soon as we're done, we'll do a little pan so you can see them up close. Like, I feel like this definitely needs some sort of greenery to bring this out. I should have bought some red berries or something.
So this is still not, it's still damp and cool to the touch. It's not quite dry, but I decided to paint it anyway so we could get this done. The wrinkles will continue. It's got some wrinkles and those will continue to suck down. And then if I still have any wrinkles left after it's all the way dry, I'll iron it. But 9 times out of 10, once it's completely dry, those wrinkles go away on this rice paper.
The basket on the stove, I'm not selling. That's my basket. Maybe someday when I'm done with it.
Are you dark waxing right now?
I used it for fall. Yeah, I'm just dark waxing this little. Yeah. Do you want to kind of get all your stuff together and so we can show them?
Yep.
When you get your Santa that's framed up.
I have some other plans for Santa besides just framing them, but we thought that'd be a quick, easy way to show you this morning.
Well, there's only so much time. We're only on live an hour. I'm just pulling back some of this dark wax, and now it just makes it look a little bit more antique. So all I will do is just take some velvet ribbon and tie and hot glue it to the back, and then this will be done. That's going to show you all of our projects up close. I do need to paint the back some more, but I'll do that off camera. Oops.
That's not dry yet.
Oops. Guess you got to put it back a little. Here, you know what? Let me slide this over a little.
Okay, so a little bit of glare on Santa there, but not bad. I'm going to dark wax that whole thing once it's dry around the edges, and that'll kind of meld that scene from the paper into there.
What I
think that would be awesome stacked with some books.
What I love about these little frames is how easy would it be to take them and put them in your existing vignettes and decor. And it allows you to add Christmas to your home without it being like aisle 12 of Hobby Lobby. That's what creating handmade Christmas is all about. You want it to be your style, and you can add whatever paint colors and finishes you want on thrifted pieces to make your home your own, and you don't have to completely change your style just for Christmas. I always take cues from how I decorate my house year round, and that's how I do my Christmas decor.
Can you flip that so we can see those other deer?
Yeah. The other side's still kind of drying though. But. So it looks a little streaky because the decoupage medium's not dry.
And then this frame, let me show you this frame close.
That one's good. That's looks, it's like a little mini piece of art.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. Please shop the papers, paint, and products at JamieRayVintage.com. And if you like this video, hit that share button. It helps us get our content out to other people so we can meet new friends. And if you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jamie Ray Vintage for more
DIY.
We'll see you on the next episode. Bye, you guys.